Howdy gamers. I really wanted to do this a bit sooner and not, a little late. Like, this is a little late in 2024 and I'm immediately getting a spam call.
Okay.
Nice. What I wanted to say is that this is a little bit late in 2024 and now the year review's coming out. It's not as late as it was before, thankfully, in the year before, but haha, spoiler alert, it is. Damn. I wanted to do so much better. I could have. I'm just addicted to a little game that we'll talk about down the line. Anyways, welcome to the 2023 year review. Oh, 2023. Spoiler alert, this would be what I consider one of the best years of my life. However, it did not have a great start. I will just say that.
Okay, instead of having a 20-minute trauma dump, I decided this would be a lot better just to do a quick review of it. So basically what happened here was this guy named Jay, this tall black dude, probably his 40s or 50s, and he helped me get something from a snack bar and wanted to be buddies after that. And then for some reason, he gave me his number, and I added him. Don't know why the hell I did this. Yes, thank you, Roscoe. I know, thank you. So he added me. He talked to me quite a couple nights on phone calls and said, like, unnerving things, just how much he likes my voice. And the one bit that always sticks with me the most is when he said that age is just a number. Because I was like, oh, hey, isn't it weird that a 16-year-old is being buddies with you? And then he chuckled like it was a comedy skit and said in the most creepiest way possible, well, age is just a number after all.
What's up, bitch?
And I didn't hang up the phone there, and like, well, weird, I was still there, just didn't talk at all, really. And then there's a couple other interactions where he was trying to call me, I ignored him, and then he met me in the store, and then I barely stood my ground. Alright, there we go. The review is successful. That is a lot better than what I initially had here, which is like a 32-minute detailed trauma dump of every, encounter with this man. Oh my god.
And then I get a text at 7 in the morning. One day, it's a text at 7 in the morning. Jay, yeah, guess who it was? The man who just thinks age is a number, and all. Yeah, he just said, hey. For some reason, I don't block him here. Guess what this genius does? Yeah, I reply to him just, hey. I text back, what the fuck are you doing, man? So yeah, 2023 was off on the wrong foot. The only really good time was, school, when I was spending time with my girl and my friends and watching a brand new show that I'd never seen before. Ever heard of The Owl House? Yeah, that was my first time ever, actually watching the show. I, heard its name twice before in my life, but didn't know what it was, never knew anything about it. And what got me started with watching the show, and during lunch in our class was, hey, is that the guy with that little wolf character? Yeah, good old King. That's how I got invested in the Owl House. Yeah, thanks, King. So after the whole bad part of the year out of the way, everything was just kind of going up from here, basically. The rest of the year, there were bad moments some more, of course, but the worst had passed. The worst was over with. It's now February, and you couldn't go wrong with this month. Ah, yes, the first thing I write about this month is that we hit 500 subscribers at the time. What a weird transition. I talked about a creepy guy who's probably a predator that harassed me and made me super uncomfortable, and transition that to the next month where, yes, but at least I hit 500 subscribers. Now at the halfway mark of 1K, let's fucking go, guys. Woo. However, at least there is a cool thing too, is driving. That was a thing that was happening. It's weird to look back and think how, that was brand new for me. I was barely getting used to driving. I didn't have a license yet. It was effectively parallel parking thanks to either my parents teaching me to drive, mostly my mom, but also dad helping out when he can because, work was in the way a lot. I just got a lot of time from them and was able to test my driving skills. So I felt ready for the upcoming driver's test. Before that happened, it was Valentine's Day, and my Teddy, I got her a King plush for Valentine's Day. It was followed up with some Sour Patch Kids and Hershey Kisses candy. I'm not sure why I got her so much candy, but I hope she liked them. The only issue also actually is that she didn't get any Hershey Kisses candy because I kind of lost them, and they fell behind my dresser and all of them completely melted because they were on top of my heater. So she only got Sour Patch Kids. Yeah, sorry about that one, love. That's embarrassing. Anyways, she loved the gift at least. The King plushie was a W choice. And she got me a plushie as well. It was a little fluffy dog, puppy dog, and a picture frame of us that I have kept ever since. It's still there. Picture frame of when we first got back together at the mall. It's really cute. And my own wallet too. I haven't used too much. It kind of feels a little greasy and dirty, but it's a leather wallet. It's cool. And then the good old driver's test. Oh boy, February 13th. Before taking it, my dad. February 13th. My dad handed this Arabic or Indian guy, I'm not sure, $170 in the parking lot to initiate a test prep. Some way for me to prep for the test. He was very helpful. It's just I wasn't expecting that. Do you guys expect to go to the DMV, take your driver's test, but before you do, you pay a dude in the parking lot that you've never met or even known about before to practice a little more? Yeah, me neither. I didn't know that was a thing. I did again though, he was actually very helpful. He not only warned me up on some tough things that I wanted to, warm up on again before actually taking the test, like parallel parking. He gave me really helpful tips in order to beat that because he knew that would be the hardest part. We both kind of knew that's just the hardest part. And also, thankfully, the car we drove did have a rearview mirror, so that whole stick my mom and dad gave about, oh, don't rely on your mirror so much, your camera mirror, the car you're gonna drive isn't gonna have that, and it's gonna be such a crutch, and you're not gonna be able to park. Yeah, they're probably right, but it's in 2024. Every car now has a rear view mirror. L ratio if your car doesn't have that. Sorry, babe. And just get with the times, guys. Every car has that now. It's kind of just base kit. Oh, and the test itself wasn't actually that bad. My mom hyped it up to be the hardest thing in my life. It's a final raid boss or something, and I had to pass first try or else it's all over. I mean, especially with the way she described it. She did hella well, but she didn't pass her first time because her instructor said she checked her mirrors way too much, which is, I guess, fair enough because it could mean, she'd be checking mirrors and then, boom, rear end someone. But, I don't know, it's kind of insane how she failed that because of that reason. Oh, and my parents were relying me to pass for convenience reasons. I can only imagine how different life would have been if I failed. They were counting on me good, and I did not disappoint. As hard as my mom made the test sound, that was back in her day, I suppose. The good old 1940s or whatever. Whatever year it was when she took it. They had been strict and tough back then, but nowadays, my personal experience, this was the most chill thing I've ever done. It was so laid back, and my instructor let me know I could ask any questions if I needed, which my mom said that you weren't allowed to ask questions at all. But this guy, let me know I could, which was great. And I could also ask for directions to be repeated, which is something my mom also said you couldn't do when she was taking her driver's test, at least. They would give you directions on where to go, and they would not repeat it. So you had to remember that, and if you forgot, you automatically fail, which is insane. So that's nice, I got to ask questions, and I could re-ask for the directions if need be. That was pretty good. Quite a relief. Wow, these hiccups are fucking destroying me. So I did the whole test, and it was very easy. It was very smooth. And when I got to the end where I had to parallel park, that was the scariest bit, but it actually worked. The tip I got from the practice dude was huge, and it led me to perfectly parallel park. That was perfect. First try on that test. God, these hiccups are destroying me. First try, parallel parking. I did it. I fucking destroyed it. But what's crazy is that the K-turning out, yeah, it didn't feel like a K-turn at all with how it happened, but I almost messed that up. I almost sold. I did the K-turn fine, but the thing is, my only mistake was I didn't use a turn signal in and out of the parallel parking bit. That was it. That was my only mistake. Back in mom's day, that would have costed me. Just the instructors just writing the score or something. It's okay, parallel parking, nice, K-turn, nice, followed instructions, followed directions. All right. You will not be getting your license, however. You did not use turn signals when you were doing the parallel parking. God, could you imagine? Yeah, other than that minor mistake of not using my turn signals when I was going into the parallel parking and out of it, I passed. I succeeded. I nailed it. I and crushed it. And after waiting like 5 years in the DMV, because that's how that works, you know, you gotta wait like an eternity in the DMV for stuff, I didn't even get my real license.
What the fuck?
Yeah, wow. They gave me this paper that pretty much said, hey, this man can drive now, and that my real physical license would arrive in the mail around March 15th. So I didn't even get a license yet at that time. Yeah, I just got a piece of paper that stated I can drive. So that's something I could show officers, I guess, if I got pulled over. That was what I waited like 3.5 hours for. Goddamn. It was a school day when I took the driver's test, and you know, I was kind of invested with the Owl House. Like, I really liked watching it and I wanted to watch more. So I sadly found out the friend group at my lunch watched an episode without me, even though all three of these motherfuckers have already seen the Owl House. They've all seen it. They have. Like, I know them. They have. They told me they have. They've all already seen the Owl House. I haven't. So why would they watch it? Episode that they've already seen without me? I mean, at least Hannah said she tried to stop it, but she didn't really speak up that much. So yeah, they didn't wait. They just kept trucking on for some reason. And I missed out on some serious lore because it was like episode 15 or 16 in season 2 where it was like the memories or something of Hunter and it's unlocked. I don't remember. I don't know. I missed out on a lore crucial moment, so I was confused in the next episodes when Hunter was like a quote-unquote good guy now. I didn't understand. And so, like, that's about it for February. I did done gifts for my babe. And, oh, yeah, and also this was a time where I created my girlfriend's second OC, Rose. It's pretty cute, huh? Anyways, March time. In the 3rd, I recall having a really awesome time in school just by passionately playing really aggressively in a soccer match I had against some of the best players in my gym class. And then having a really chillax day after that, especially when after school I got to come home, hang out with Bae. Then later on, the 17th, I just remember running home from school. I've always been walking home since October 16th or somewhere around then. And it's been every single day. I just had to walk home because I couldn't have a ride or anything. But ever since we had a wacky schedule with the whole testing thing going on, I had one class. I only had one class and I just didn't take my backpack. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna run today. So guess what? I walked to school and you know, instead of taking the bus like a sane person, or maybe I couldn't, I don't know, I walked to school and then I challenged myself to run all the way back home. And I did it in 21 minutes. Yeah, I timed to myself. The script, wow, I really liked Overwatch back at the time, I can tell. In the script I wrote, I really thought I was some Soldier 76, huh? Classic, good one, Evan. Good, it's so funny. Yeah. I actually ran all the way home from school, so that was a cool day, I suppose. I had a good chance to hang out with my baby girl again. We watched a lot of Bluey together because that was a new thing for us, and you know, it's pretty good show. We got through the episodes with the poor little bug on the wall and the whole Dad I'm cold, Dad I'm freezing parts that are iconic in the show. Then there was the little hug, TikTok, we made cookies, we baked together. That was a really good day. Then the next day I attended my best friend Riley's escape room party. She hadn't had any kind of birthday party since 2019, thanks to COVID. So this was going to be a real treat to attend, and it really was. This escape room thing was very different from how I thought it was going to be. I kept picturing something similar to the mobile game escape rooms where it's just multiple rooms back to back and there were levels, but of course this is reality, not a dang phone game. So what had happened was that there was these 2 rooms and we had an hour to find Einstein's hidden journal. There were countless locks and puzzles and mathy stuff, but in the end, we were able to get to the second room and actually able to find the journal with 15 seconds left to spare. I can say I contributed something at least during that whole thing, because while I was getting like heavily carried and I kind of just stood around dumbfoundedly like, how are they figuring this all out so quickly? I did save the crew quite a bit of time by discovering a 4-letter word code that we needed to solve for the last puzzle piece. Lucas and someone else was tapping on these random black buttons that seemed to have been doing nothing, and they were just laying on some wooden thing. But every time these buttons had been pressed, the gang thought they did nothing and they were just for the aesthetic. But you can imagine I was incorrect. because I noticed a light flash in the corner of my eye, and I was like, wait a minute, hit that again, boys. As I proceeded to do so myself, I realized the button was flashing one of the 4 light panels that spelled out the word bolt, which I was really happy about, because at that point I can still forever say I contributed something that day, but you know, before then I was kind of just sitting around not really helping a lot. I'm sorry, team. They were just all so quick and like really good, I guess. Like it was too much for my ADHD brain to handle. I even got an applause from the birthday girl herself. It's like, yippee. And then of course some birthday art I did for her on the day of. After we beat the escape room, we walked down to the pizza place in Somerville near my shop right and all, and we just chilled there. I was worried at first I was going to have to call into work and move my shift like a little bit later, but it worked out perfectly because after we all ate and all went our separate ways, I had just enough time to go get changed and get straight to work because, you know, thanks to my Giga Chad dad, he drove down with my work uniform in the car, so thank you, Dad, for helping me out there. And then my birthday, it arrived. It's a bit bittersweet day because yes, I turned 18 and I can legally drive by myself. I have a bank account and use all and etc. But 4 days before the 20th, to play it safe, I had to put a pause with my girlfriend. Basically at that time we broke up for a bit. It's nothing super crazy. She's just 17 for 4 more months, which back then seemed really, really long, but we made it. And my parents, and I don't hold anything against them, they just wanted to make sure nothing bad could possibly happen, no lawsuits or anything, or like anything from the public eye. So we paused our relationship until she turned 18 as well, and we both didn't let the pause ruin our anniversary, so we still counted the months together, even though we weren't technically together, you know what I mean? We still acted lovey-dovey like we're girlfriend and boyfriend, but we didn't officially call each other that, I guess. At least not for everyone else. Anyways, it's for my actual birthday. I just remember it being me spending time with my parents at our local diner. Time to Eat Diner, which is just next to the highway. I got a ride home from school, and I just got to spend alone time talking with them for a while. It was a nice experience, and honestly, a first birthday where I didn't have a massive party somewhere or nothing. And I'm okay with that, you know, just for this time, I guess. Also, my dad just not really being that present at the dinner, kind of just on his phone most of all that time, but it's fine. While I was at school, I actually got so much stuff that I made a good birthday. Got hella art, which I showcased in a video a while back, and $40 worth of Xbox gift cards, and a puppy stuffy thanks to my girlfriend, along with a Battlecats plushie also thanks to her, which is some really epic stuff. The only thing that bothered me at school for a hot second was this ex-friend named John. This motherfucker joins our lunch group and where we're at. He never sits here, he's never with us, but this one random day he's here and he joins us. And even after all the texts in the group chat, that he is in, by the way, about wishing me a happy birthday and stuff, he comes into the room, we eat at lunch, and he's seeing all the birthday party type of stuff going on, like, you know, the balloon or two there, like some, I don't know, the celebration stuff. This kid is absolutely clueless, and then he takes a cupcake asking what it was all for. I kind of wanted to grab him by the throat and, you know, throw him out a window, but it's fine. All he had to say was, oh, when I told him, oh yeah, you know, it's for my fucking birthday, mate. No sorry or no nothing like that. Whatever, I guess. Probably a petty thing on my part, you know, but it's my birthday and I'd really hate to feel forgotten or ignored on, you know, the day I was born. It's just the worst thing you could really do to me. I don't care if I don't get gifts, but I'm gonna be pissed if you don't acknowledge my fucking existence, motherfucker. It just made me so tilted at that time. Like, he never sits with us at lunch at all, but he just joined up today to get some cupcake and free shit on it. Not even knowing it's my birthday. Oh, fuck you, John. Fuck you. No, I'm just kidding. Bombastic side eye. Oh, shoot, and real quick, it's a good thing I, triple checked this stuff. I actually forgot some back on March 12th. There's the day Jamon gifted me the fabulous game One Shot. This is one of the best games I've ever played. And fun fact, in 2024 this year, my boy Sully tried it out too. And he got everything. He got both the endings. He got 100% everything. That game is just, it's amazing. It's phenomenal. There's nothing negative to say about it. And for everyone that was disliking all the One Shot soundtracks I was listening to throughout the year, are you human? Are you real? Why are you disliking this? What the fuck? But yeah, March 12th, Jamon gifted me One Shot, finished in May or so, before the end of the school year, and the soundtracks were so fitting,
from my journey at that point and what I was going through. I'll never forget staying up until 2 or 3 a.m. almost to like finish a run of One Shot, get as far as however long I did, and I'll be listening to like Geothermal or something as I'm getting ready for bed. I loved that game so much. It was so good. Thank you, Jamon. Big shout outs to Jamon getting me that game. He gifted it to me. Thank you, Jamon. You're amazing. Woo! Okay, back to the review.
Transitioning to April, I made Dad a nice card with my own art style on it for his birthday. I spent the whole day with him, as one should, instead of buying him a tie and calling it a day. Seriously, that was a random thing I found on Bing, bro. Bing of all places. And from a YouTube video I kind of loosely heard too. Apparently most dads just get bought a tie and then that's it. That's all they get for their birthday. They literally provide and work jobs like 9-10 hours a day every day for their family, and all they get in return is a thank you with a tie. Jesus Christ. Then Easter had happened and it was almost okay, but my brother kind of kills the mood like how he has been for the last couple of years. He manages to ruin stuff when we got to the egg confessions, which is my favorite part of Easter and a tradition I want to carry on to my future kids and family, including the whole mystery search thing like that our parents do, where we have to run around the whole house and find clues and go to the other rooms that the clues are referencing to get treats and rewards. And on the 11th we went out early together. My dad, my sister, brother, and father of mine. We all went go-kart racing, which is something I haven't done in a long time. Like, it's been ages since the last time I've done this, and it was super fun. I'll have to try and find the name of it somewhere, but it just popped in my head for a second. I don't know. I have an image of it somewhere. But it's this go-kart racing place that bases your position on the leaderboard of how far you got and how much distance you covered in total, instead of where you were positioned among the other go-karts. Meaning that I may have started in the middle and never saw the dude in front, but with how Speed EO was covering distance, I got 3rd place in the first race, which really gave me a great sensation and feeling that I could win the next one. Now that I know the track and how the karts work, they have this boost button. However, you can't brake or lay off the gas or else the boost just goes away. Their boost felt really weird, and I think it's because I understood it correctly. If you lay off the gas even slightly or lightly tap the brake button, then your boost goes away and it's just back to normal. Yeah, it's odd. So the next race started off normal until going up and around, 2 people bumped into each other pretty hard, actually crashing and getting stuck somehow. I don't think this happened early on, but it happened at some point, which allowed me to just boost past them and the other 2 people ahead of me. I just kept close to the lead, and at some point I saw my brother who nearly kept ahead of me, but in the very last possible seconds of the race, I managed to get ahead of him, and I stole his first place by 0.10 seconds, according to the leaderboard anyway, which was fucking insane. Oh, the look on his face, bro, is so good. That was such a good memory. This is why I love doing these year reviews. This is mostly for me to just go back and have a laugh at stuff I did throughout the year. It's so nice to look back at. There was one more race after that, but it wasn't worth mentioning. It was just a show. Given by the fact most of the drivers didn't look older than 15, I got bumped into way too much, and some dude I was trying to compete with, we go through a big turn and he does not know how to drive through that. I did by taking the outside and wrapping around, getting past him quickly, but he clearly didn't like that, so just before fully passing him, he swings left and bumps the bottom right side of my cart so hard, like he was trying to do a pit maneuver on a cop and some person, a pit maneuver and a police chase is what I'm trying to say. This guy just fucking pit maneuvered me, basically. He nearly knocked us both off the path and out of the race, and he got raised a black flag and I got to continue without being stopped. Thankfully, he got ripped out of the race as he deserved. Yeah. I ended up in 5th somehow, but if it weren't for those motherfuckers who haven't even taken a driver's ed yet class in school, that could have gone so much better. But oh well, I still had fun, at least taking first from my brother in the second race. I guess it is true after all. First is the worst, second is the best, third is the something getting fucking wrecked. And the next day, on the 12th April, I got up at 10 for a dentist appointment, and then afterward joined my girlfriend on a hiking trip. She usually takes every once in a while with her mom and sister. It's off in these woods, and it was a really fun 3 miles to journey with her, and she had a whole character arc with her anxiety. All the things we've learned so far from Mr. Shapiro about letting it go throughout the trip and just having fun. Being in the moment, forgetting your worries. I'll be playing clips of the scenery we're in while continuing to talk about it, but yeah, first, she was terrified. Kind of a fear I would have had, honestly. Terrified a bear was just going to spawn out of nowhere and devour us all. which I can't lie, like, you know, I'd fear that too if I were alone out here and it was like dark. But yeah, no, not quite in the daytime with all of us on a group. And then her fears were also about me getting hurt because I wasn't using a walking stick like the rest of them. I was doing this, like, all this energetic extra shit to traverse the area because I wanted to have fun with it. I think I just did it in a way I felt was fun, hopping and climbing rocks and stuff. Like, it didn't take long for my darling to just let go of her fears and join me, making an attempt at doing some of the things I was doing, which I was kind of flattered by. The way she just, like, came out of her shell and took over her fear was pretty cool. She was doing some of the stuff I was doing, the way she was hopping around rocks, while still being safe, of course. And then almost like halfway through the journey, we took a snack break, and like the sane person I was, I hopped to a rock in the middle of the flowing river. Like, there's this kind of bridge thing, and then there's a rock that I wanted, a big rock I wanted to just go lay on, because it seemed cool. Surrounded by other rocks and all, to, of course, get back, and I decided to have my snack there. Hannah comes over and joins me, but once I pull out my snack, I fucked up, and it slipped from my hands. I didn't even get to open it yet. It slipped from my hands down the rock and into the water. Like, it went into the fucking stream. I nearly grabbed it, but then I had to act fast. Like, I tried to reach it from a rock, but I just couldn't get it. So now her and her family is just watching me quickly hop from rock to rock down the stream like I'm Yoda hopping from pod to pod in Revenge of the Sith to grab some fucking little bites, bro. Just before it gets to the big mainstream of river where there's no rocks left and I have to soak myself to get it, I did manage to just barely grab it on the last rock I was on, like some cinematic shit, honestly. Leaning over the edge, and I made it back safely to the others, hopping right on back over rock to rock. Once we continued on our journey, Hannah was no longer afraid of anything. Anxiety was fully gone, and we're doing some fun shit together. Going the extra mile where we could have just walked with sticks, but I found it more fun this way, and she did too, it seems. After the two of us were exhausted and ahead of the other two, we get a high five in, we hug, we get in the car, go grab a milkshake from a nearby ice cream place, and we go back to her place, and we watch the Owl House finale, because at that time, that was like when the final episode of the Owl House came out, and you know, we'd been dying to do this, like, especially Hannah. Thank you, by the way, for being patient and not watching it without me. She was really like trying not to watch the last episode, and she got through 2 days before, you know, we went on this trip together, so thank you for that. We spent a little more time together before I went home in the late afternoon, and when I did, I had a great time with my family too. We're playing a little bit of cards, but mostly looking back at some old school projects we worked on together that I decided to post on my channel later on. It was a Fun Bad Granny one. It's a project where it was about Granny, I guess, and my brother was the main character. It was hilarious to all of us. We had such a nice time together as a family. It was like the first genuine time in quite a while, it felt like. But yeah, it was a very nice memory there. We're just looking back at some cringy but fun bad, you know, projects I made in school. Day after that, on the 14th, me and the family, we went to Six Flags. However, it was pretty ass, not gonna lie. It reminded me of why I don't really like amusement parks, like, at all, because it took the entire day basically to wait for rides, and it was crazy. Over 2 hours for one short trip on a Superman ride. Just 2 minutes of flying around, it felt like. 40 minutes for the Joker, 30 minutes for Cyborg, because it didn't seem too popular, so we just like snuck in, took that opportunity. And then another damn hour and a half just for one ride in the caves, which was probably the coolest one, but damn, my patience was severely tested this entire time, because as usual, I don't bring my phone out in these kind of things. And then we tried to go to Wonder Woman, but that shit was broken. So the last thing we did, 3 times back to back, because the line was shorter than anything else, was the spinning teacups. Like, my dad had been right, and I think I was getting delirious this time from like a lack of hydration and just waiting so goddamn much. But the cups were the most fun, and unironically, the ride that felt like it lasted the longest each time. Like, we went into a nearby diner after, but yeah, just, oh my god, waiting for all those rides was really draining, you know what I mean? And I didn't bring my phone, so I was literally just standing there, just bored as fuck. I may as well have just taken a work shift like that. But, wow, what a great way to spend my time. Just standing there with the family, all just standing there, waiting, and then having 2 minutes of flight on a ride. Woo! But yeah, after, like I said, we went by to the nearby diner after vacating, leaving the Six Flags, and I got some iced tea and some good food. But this was the place, sadly, where I'd lost my black stylus because I got new ones on Christmas, spoiler alert. But these styluses really have a reputation to just slip out of my pocket. They really like to just escape my grasp, because while I was sitting down and I was eating my food and all that, slipped out of my pocket and I had no idea, and we all left. And then on the drive home I wanted to draw, and I was like, oh, where's my stylus? Wait, I think it fell out of my pocket. Then there was this weird event that I'm just gonna mention for no reason at all, and I don't even know why, but real quick, it was on the 16th of April, and I couldn't sleep for nearly an hour. Then as I was drifting off, I woke up to a loud pop and someone screaming, "Ow, stop," in the distance. So I peeked outside a little after see a few houses down. This overweight guy called Matt, of course his name was f***ing Matt, and he was being arrested by five cop cars on the scene, bro. So yeah, that was fun, wasn't it, guys? Anyways, fast forward to April 23rd, we got some new phones. And fun fact, I'm using this new phone, as you probably would have guessed, to be voicing these memos. Woo! It was really that long ago, though, damn. But yeah, after having my first official phone for the last 3 years, I was allowed to get a new one, and so did the rest of my family, with some kind of plan from Apple that my parents got or something. It took a little convincing, but I was allowed to keep the old phone and not trade it in, because I had some unfinished business with that phone. It was like mostly drawings that by now I have finished. For example, the Chainsaw Man drawing, where it's like for the anime chainsaw. Oh man, now that I have this new phone, I don't have to keep flip-flopping between the two Battlecats accounts I have. It's more convenient now, because damn, that was hella annoying to do each time, and very draining. But this new phone has so much more storage than the old one. It's an iPhone 14 with at least 100 gigabytes on it, more than my Mac. It's funny. And that day was a very nice surprise I didn't take for granted at all. I went on for that a bit, I feel like. I will stop flexing my new G7. Then that same day, we had a ropes course going on in gym class, and I climbed up the wooden pole that had small metal oval rings poking out. I always felt like I could fall at any moment. Like, that rope course we had in gym was so scary, but so fun at the same time. That was really nice to do. And then I walked straight through the tightrope all the way to the tree like it was nothing. It was something crazy. I was wobbling all over the place. It was hard to walk with the support, but according to the gym coach and some students, I made it look really easy, and I felt proud of myself making it to the tree and, making it all the way throughout that whole course there and just doing it all so bravely, because all the other students that there are, honestly, they rushed through it so fast. And if they made one minor mistake, they either barely made it a bit longer or they just gave up right there on the spot. So thanks to Mr. Shapiro and everything I learned, I guess. I took my time. Still efficient, but slow enough, just to catch my breath and make sure I was getting up there, not losing my grip or anything. And I did it. I went in with a goal and a plan, and I stuck the landing, man. I made it. Made it all the way across that goddamn thing. I slapped that fucking tree. And I was really happy for past me accomplishing that. I didn't actually have a plan, but The only thing I was too scared to do in the ropes course was the jump, and sadly I never... Oscar, I wanted one more line. The only thing I was too scared to do in the ropes course was the jump, where you just climb up on a ledge and you jump off. Scary as shit. And I sadly never got another chance to try to even do it, so that was the only thing I never did. But I eventually did do all the other ones, the swing, and this other one was a high rope walk where you need to cross it without any support ropes, meaning insanely tough hand strength was required to climb across, because you had to grab onto it and just climb all the way across with your hands. It was so hard. I made it barely to the, a third, 3/4 of it, and just before my hands felt like they were bleeding out, but they weren't at all. I was just being a wuss. And then my second favorite called the zip line, where you go all the way down toward the creek. It's terrifyingly fun. As much as I felt like I was gonna fall straight to the ground, I just went zooming across the whole field. Like, it was so nice. Backtracking to May to cover that now, it was the night of the 11th when I decided to pull my first official all-nighter, and it was actually successful. Usually with my quote-unquote all-nighters, I kind of do them, but I eventually fall asleep. I make it to like 6 a.m., 7 a.m., and then I end up going to bed right after. But on this day, I actually made it to the 12th, Friday, and I went through that whole school day without any amount of sleep. Why? My excuse, my justification for this at the time was that I just couldn't sleep. Like, I felt dead tired, but when I laid there on my bed, it was some really old pillows that were bad and they needed to change for a while, so laying on them felt like lumps of rocks now. Like, it just was so uncomfortable and I couldn't do it. So after like 2 hours or something, oh yeah, and also since I didn't have my AC in at the time, it was too hot as well, so my excuses are it was too hot and the pillows were so old and bad, they were just hurting my head to lay on them. Felt so close, but I just couldn't drift off to sleep because the pillows were too much. So it was like 2 hours or something that I just was trying to fall asleep and I couldn't do it, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna stay up. I don't know everything I did, but toward 3 a.m. I decided to hop on the Roblox game Doors, and that sounds really cringe saying that now, but I mean, Doors was fun while it lasted, honestly. And after dying off spawn the first 3 times, I did manage to get all the way through on the 4th try with just half health. I was bricks when I got to the final boss fight, because this was the newly updated version where the end game was completely different, and yeah, I had no idea what I was getting myself into. It was my first ever encounter with this new update where that library creature just is like, you're in a maze area and you have to get pieces of stuff. I don't know. That was my first time playing it. Never did before. So even without any prior experience, I got through it. And it took me so long to beat it. And it was like so very patient because I was just so scared out of my mind. But it was a terrifyingly epic W because I did it. And with that, I just walked down to the Quick Check at 5 a.m. to grab myself a muffin and get ready for school. I got through the whole day with 1 or 2 power naps in Mr. Shapiro's class, which I'm so sorry because he's one of my favorite teachers, up there with Mr. Siegel. He's so good. And then after school, I went to Walmart with my dad. Finally got some new pillows after years of these old ones. I got this long one that I still have today. It's really soft still and nice. I fall asleep almost instantly. After that, I went and saw my girlfriend, and I did not survive. After all this time of being awake, I just felt sick, like in the head. I just wanted to lay down, and I asked my mom to pick me up. I felt like I could have thrown up or something. Like, that lack of sleep really caught up with me quick. All my fault. I left her house around 6 or something, because I showered and went straight to bed, and I was asleep until 7 the next morning. Yeah, moving on later in that month, on the 28th, that would be our 5-month anniversary with my girlfriend. It was a really cute day.
Alright, well, I was wrapping up editing this whole hour-long review. Oh my god, this is the lengthiest thing I've ever made in so long. But then I just realized I skipped the entirety of prom. I completely forgot about it. Oh my god. I didn't even have it in script. Wow, literally completely blanked out of my mind while I was writing this all up. But basically, I'm just gonna free for all here. Prom was pretty sweet, pretty nice. We got like a cab or something over there. My mom was hella nice. She got me and my girlfriend a cab, and we just like took it down to the prom. And wow, yeah, different than what I originally thought, because I always think it's gonna be something majorly different or another, but. No, that's a bad thing. It's just, yeah. But, prom was very nice. We got pictures. We danced. She did the most bravest thing I've ever seen her do so far, where she was pulling me onto the dance floor because one of our songs came on where it's like, shut up and dance with me. That's what it's called. That song was playing, so she literally, dragged me out to the dance floor. The bravery she had to just do that while there's, a bunch of kids around with their girlfriends or significant others. Shapiro taught me a lot, but even still, I just felt so shy. But, I'm glad I did that. That felt good. Even though it felt like the entire world was watching, I just didn't let it bother me too much. And it was a very good time. So, yeah. We danced, and then eventually, you know, we went and sat back down. We had food, some buffet. We danced for hours and hours. I almost felt like toward the end I could just fall over at any moment from dancing so hard, but we were just dancing and dancing. It was so good. And then, oh yeah, there's this little clip I took. I'm gonna play a video of that now. It was pretty funny. This little clip I have where it's just like this doorway to Jesus or something. This was in the boys' bathroom. I don't know why this was like this, but there's just like this open wall that just leads to a bright ass light. Just called it the doorway to Jesus. And in the same fashion as my dad, I was a little dorky. I was like leaving the bathroom and I was just like, yo boys, you seen the doorway to heaven yet? And some people heard me and they caught interest and checked it out for themselves. It was kind of awkward to me though, I won't lie. Yeah, still a very good time. Did we get cabbed back home? No, I think we got picked up. Or maybe, wait, what did we? No, yeah, we just had to go way back home. I was very cool, my mom got a cab there, and then yeah, it's food. Nah, we danced and danced and danced. That was pretty sick. And yeah, that was prom. I can't believe I completely forgot to add that to the year review till now. I feel so bad. I
was at work on a kinda early schedule, and Hannah happened to surprise visit me while I was there. And we had a sweet interaction that took my mind off whatever I was thinking about, and then after she had gone, work just drove right by. Like, I didn't even notice the time. And at the end of my shift, she gave me a call and told me to walk to the pizza place nearby, and I was like, okay. So I hung out with her. Kay and her aunts, Jill and George. They were very nice, and I got to eat something, of course. And kept asking me practically the whole time if I were uncomfortable or felt awkward. I just wanted to run 10,000 miles away. But the truth was, I really didn't feel any of those things. I had a blast with all we did because after the pizza place, we went to the Yestercades nearby, which for those who don't know, it's an arcade place where you can go and play some of the most ancient games on their arcade machines. It's like stuff from the 90s or whatever, like the first ever games being made, I guess. Not the first ever, but you know, some really old shit. George was a gamer, so challenging him was very fun. Like, we were neck and neck at everything we did. I remember playing the air hockey table. Hannah beat Kayla, her sister, and that made her rage by throwing the piece at the floor. Like, she got mad. I don't know if I caught it on camera or not. Holy, Kayla was fuming after getting slammed by her sister. I don't know if it was that deep, but damn, she yeeted that bitch into the ground. And then I completely destroyed my girlfriend, with just my left hand. Body slammed her. 7-0. And just with my left hand, but hey, she took it like a champ. At least she didn't get mad, because you know, she knows it's just a game. She was smiling and giggling the whole time, like she was having fun, which I appreciate. Where's her sister Kay, who got progressively angrier, which I think I thought looked like pretend or something with the way she was getting pissed, but it was real rage, that's for sure. After 7-0ing my girl, I just went against him next, and it was 7-5. I won the first round, but he wanted a rematch right away, so we did, and then he completely destroyed me. Well, not completely destroyed me, it was still close, but damn, like how did I lose that? 6-7. George was an absolute beast, and it was such a fun competition. Like, this man knows how to improvise. He's a gamer at heart. Unfortunately, though, we were left at a cliffhanger because we didn't do a third round. We were just like, oh yeah, we'll do it later, but we never did at the time, and we still have yet to do so. George, if you're watching this, 1v1 me right now. After all that we did do some racing arcade thing that was enjoyable, I still won it, but yeah, it was all this other stuff, a lot more of the arcade games. It was cool. Oh, I want to mention too is the last things we did. We hopped on the Xbox Next Gen that they have against the walls, which are cool, and we were fighting in the multiverse, the multiverse sus game. Can't recall if there were others than me and George going for the throne, but we went at it again. A similar thing happened at the air hockey table, where I won the first round, but now George had an understanding for how I play and how the game actually works, so he rematched me and actually won. Like, I was close to clutching it out, but he played way too well. He's goated on the sticks, bro. After, like, the best 5-month anniversary that I could have ever asked for, I got dropped off back home and ended on a high note still with my family. Just playing cards at night. playing cards that night. It was so randomly funny because everyone was on the Silly Juice or something, I guess, because me and my brother were talking about a new game at the time that we saw with like the most realistic graphics ever, and there was a trailer for it too. Most of you probably wouldn't know what I'm talking about, maybe. And our sister Joanne just butts in like, "What? Fairy?" And we'll just burst out laughing because it's so random and confusing. Of course, after saying it, it was a game. And this mother fluffer goes, "Oh, I thought you were talking about the new FNAF movie." What? My brother comments on how she's dying of laughter, saying, "Oh, look at Joanna, she's Bart Simpson." Which I still don't get for being a random comment, but hilarious somehow nonetheless. Like, I just added on to it. Yo, look, now she's a crying child in FNAF, and she's laughing so hard, bro. She falls off her chair with snot running out her nose and tears falling. Oh my god. Yeah, that's a really nice memory at the table there. And that was about it for May. And then we moved on to June, my last month of school. And wow, all those long days walking home and having more free time than I knew what to do with, all leading up to this final day. June 14th, I excitedly finished my last assignments in all my classes. First with ELA, the Tuesdays with Maury, and the personal journey project we had. Then my art project and today's living final review packet, all that. I was bouncing with joy knowing this was the last of it, but I also had this existential dread, I suppose, knowing that it was only about a week or less before I graduate and never do any of that again. But hey, on the bright side, I was exempt from all finals, so I didn't have to deal with the new final system that went into effect this year, where you get tested on everything from the beginning of the school year. Like, that is nuts. Good luck, y'all. There's no more midterms. You have to do everything from the start of the year. That is in one sitting, one test. Like, that's Somehow, I almost forgot to add my sister's Sweet 16 party here, too. It was on the 17th, just 2 days before her birthday, and we went to New York City for the first time in ages to go on a big, fancy boat around the city. And a lot of Joanna's friends got to show up, but honestly, I felt so blessed to be able to take Hannah with me. That was really sweet. I didn't really inform her that well that we were going on a boat, which I'm sorry for her, hon, but she got over the anxious fear she felt real quick, and we had an amazing time. The boat had a little bar, which I'm too young for, sadly, and a little dance floor that we used later. And I remember some random couple saying to me and her while we were dancing something like, "Please, I hope you two get married." So that was nice. We ate some good food and desserts. We went on top of the boat to see some beautiful views and played a little Jenga. I won. And I let Hanny talk to my mom alone for a bit to try and give her a chance to say sorry to my mom about 2021 and let them bond a bit. It was a very good time. A few days later on the 20th, it was our senior sunset, and I at first thought nobody else was coming and I was going to this event alone, especially without my darling, sadly, but then I learned Riley was actually going, and that was a big W. So we got to carpool over there together, and we had free pizza and ice cream. We had some free drinks, too, and we got to meet up with some of our other old friends and sign yearbooks, which unfortunately I didn't bring mine. And it was a nice, simple night. And the next day was our last practice graduation, leading to the day after the real thing. Just before my graduation day, though, my brother's had happened for his middle school. He's evolved from that, and may have bummed someone on the way out. Yeah, he didn't show up to mine, though, sadly. Before the actual graduation day, I thought the school accounts were going to be nuked on the spot, so I stayed up late the night before recording some golden memories from that account that I know I could move to a different account and save forever. Like, I know I could have just done that, but I felt better letting it go for good, and I feel like it would have lost its value if I could just move it from my school account to somewhere else and never touch them again. So I stayed up late and recorded myself revisiting all these nice memories as a way of sending it off and letting it go. I know I never made a video like it or something, and I could, but there is just 10,000 hours or some, like, there's a lot. I was up late for a long time looking through so much. It's a lot of editing, trust me. And then it came. Graduation day. It was an indoor graduation because of possible rain, which gave me flashbacks to graduating middle school. At least it's all come full circle. I graduated indoors on high school campus for that too. Hannah's family cheered when my name was called, which I didn't know at first, but it was cute because I had cheered for her too when her name was called. There's a long list of names, of course, but after all was said and done, we had our moment to toss our caps and feel sweet victory. We did it. We passed high school. I met up with Hannah, April, and Riley. We grabbed our diploma cases and then a group hug. Goodbye before parting our ways. Being in that cafeteria trying to meet up with our friends gave me hard flashbacks to middle school graduation yet again. Because where I was trying to find my mom, I was just surrounded by all these black gown seniors wrapping up their school life. I met back with my mom, who had shed a few tears in the crowd, seeing me graduate. And unfortunately, we could not get pictures as she wanted. We just had to skedaddle out because my mom needed to be at work and see her own students graduate. Yeah, no time to lose, no time to slow down. We were in the moment there, we graduated, and we're already on to the next thing. We had to be quick. That part of the day was longer than I thought for other reasons, but, it was good. I got to sit in front and play my songs. Congratulations, Owl House Ending Remix, One Shot in Memory, some bangers like that. They really fit the mood. We got home at the same time my King keychain was delivered, and then a bit later I went out with Hanny to eat, and with what felt like all of her family at Chimney Rock, which again brought me back to my middle school graduation yet again, because my family went to this exact same place when I graduated middle school, and we all ate together. And now here I was again, celebrating my high school graduation, this time with the love of my life and her family. That's pretty cool, huh? Food was great, and even though she was nervous and kind of a mess with anxiety, I was hoping I wasn't uncomfortable the whole time. I really did get along good with her family, I think, and have some fun conversations, After the meal, I was able to go to her place and chill for a while before helping her go to sleep and then getting home and hopping on Xbox for a few hours into the night. No more school walks from home, no more school in general, it's all just very different now. All this time has gone by and so much has happened, but when I close my eyes at the same time, it almost feels like nothing changed at all. Farewell, senior year, and goodbye to the true Giga Chad teachers I had in my school years. Fuck, honestly, I should make a teacher tier list for my favorite teachers or something. Then we had some graduation parties to attend, and on the 24th I went to my friend Jayla's party, which was a really good time. Just this one big room, some nice food and music, and I got to hang with some old pals from school. I didn't take any pics because I felt awkward about it, which of course I did, and shy ass. But one I shouldn't have, obviously, it's my friends. And we danced quite a bit. Good old Cotton Eye Joe songs, and side to the left, side to the right. The only part was just the music. Oh my, it was way too loud. Sad that Hannah wasn't invited by accident, but it was probably for the better because she doesn't like loud noises, and if I couldn't handle all that, I knew she'd have incredible amounts of trouble. I had to step outside the building 3 times for the sake of my ringing, muffled ears. They were destroyed. Aside from that, I was able to enjoy my time there with the gang, but yeah, it was just so deafeningly loud. Then there was Cerniche's party a few days after, which was a lot better with the music. It's the first thing for sure, and it was more chill, not blasting everyone's ears out, which is very nice. Didn't know as many people there that well, but I was able to converse pretty well, and the food was absolutely chef's kiss. Damn. I had a great time at this one too, and I talked with a kid I used to know from 6th grade. That means I haven't seen him in about 6-ish years. 6-ish years. That's pretty crazy. His name was Yush, I believe. I know I absolutely botched up the pronunciation of that name probably, but that's what I think it was. I got to end that day off by going straight to my mom's dad's house, and then after picking up $200, spend the afternoon with my family outside. You guys should try touching grass sometime. It's a lot better than hitting gold in Rainbow Six Siege, me. Or in my case nowadays, Iridescent 1 on Dead by Daylight. After over a week of school being officially over for good, my family and I went to the beach on the 1st of July. It's just something about me where even without school, it just doesn't feel like summer yet. Not until we do something to celebrate it, which we did fortunately with a little beach trip. That good old summer feeling of the hot sun just breezing down upon you while you're jumping through the cool beach waves. It just never gets old to me. I always love that. And after about 3 hours there, we ended it off the most epic way we usually do. Getting a pizza and the old ice cream place, Strollos. Hell yeah, yum. 2 days later, I went into the city again by train with my dad and sister, and I wasn't too sure what we were doing there, but I just wanted to come along because from what I learned in It's a Bird and The Death of Ivan Ilyich and Tuesdays with Morrie, everything Mr. Shapiro has taught me, Godspeed, man. The most important thing for me to do that day was join my dad in whatever he was up to instead of staying home to crank some 90s and Fortnite or something. And turns out, it wasn't just to go see his mom and siblings like I initially thought. We were also in New York City to go see a 9/11 memorial. Just cause. We went underground a bit, saw the damages done, read about shit that was happening on that fateful day, and some facts about how it went down, like the plane timings and stuff like that. Yeah, I guess she did. She fell in with the crackhead in the bathroom. I wasn't gonna film this guy, but it's been 5 minutes and he's still shouting. He's right there. Alright, let's leave the crackhead behind. I don't even know if somber fits the mood enough, as I was just observing everything there and taking it all in. Even after all the countless times it was taught in school on that day, like being there just to see it all over and learn more was pretty heavy. At the end of our 9/11 journey, we watched a school edited video about how the American military sought revenge after the attackers. And when we saw the video, it looked like some Rainbow Six Siege, my guy. After all that, like my dad just bought me pizza, which is really nice, and made me feel a bit better about her stuff that she did, lore, family reasons, yeah. And we finally went home, and I just remember playing Xbox until 5 a.m., following my second official all-nighter because I didn't feel tired enough or something like that. That's crazy me. Wow. Next, on July's list here came the very anticipated July trip with Hannah and her family. July 8th was the day we showed up, and all night long we drove, and I hadn't really gotten much sleep in the car at all. It was tough. Like, my neck just kept cramping and hurting, so I was up the entire drive there, basically, and we arrived at a little diner near the ferry at like 10 in the morning, enjoyed some breakfast, and then had this cool ferry ride across the water. Pretty sick. This boat ride always used to scare Hannah back in the day, apparently, but yeah, always scared her to death. But with me there, she said she felt really safe, and she quickly came out of her shell once more and enjoyed the boat trip when I was walking around upstairs to enjoy some sights. I had never been on a ferry before, so being the first time, the ride across was pretty hype. While in the car, it shakes around a lot. It's wibbly wobbling all over the place, like elephants walking by or something. I don't know. So yeah, getting out of the car was much better, just like less shaky and And again, I'm happy to say that my existence really just canceled the panic attack that was starting to settle in Hannah and trying to fester. We had to chill on the boat, and this AC room they had was very clutch for me because it was pretty hot out already, but even worse, like I'd brought this hot ass onesie that just made my body temperature rise even more. It's so hot. We made the entire ferry ride safe and sound, no problems, which unfortunately can't be said for Kayla's crew actually, because quarter of the way through their ferry ride, it just broke down or something. They said they got stuck. Our crew enjoyed some milkshakes while we waited for them to play catch up, and eventually they did make it back to us, but it was taking so long that after we got our milkshakes and everything, we just went straight to the house and decided to unpack while we kept waiting for them. The last thing I remember from that day was going into the Sound for a little while, what they call the water in your backyard there in North Carolina, Oklahoma, whatever it was. Yeah, just went in that for a bit, just showered, had dinner, and surprisingly, I went to bed with my darling at 8. Like, that was nice. Sleeping all the way until 6 in the morning. Like, damn, I guess I really was just exhausted as not sleeping last night at all. But, like, yeah, damn, okay. Seriously, just being amazing. That was the most amazing feeling. Being able to cuddle up with her and not stay awake, worrying about random stupid shit for no reason. We just went to bed at a healthy time and naturally woke up early. Like, damn. How much better could it possibly get? And nothing really crazy happened on the second day as far as I'd written down. It was just some bluey watching George be an absolute gamer and eating stuff like that. Took some time in the water again, just relaxed. George plays a lot of Nintendo. I didn't bring my console, so I just had to watch him play a bunch of Splatoon and Zelda and whatnot. Tried it out myself, but wow, like getting the controls down is just hard. Nintendo feels like I'm picking up a controller for the first time. I can't even lie. Yeah, day 3 was kind of big. Same old thing again, but now my girl was unfortunately dealing with the shark week. And I remember carrying her up the stairs and just holding her a lot, treating her like precious baby, because she is. The most important thing to me that day, however, was toward 11 at night. I just kept banging out these Duolingo lessons with very huge XP boosts. Like, I was calculating this to use them all, and I just barely managed to make it up past Obsidian. I had a goal to see what was above that, and with all the effort I'd put in, I made it. Diamond League, that was there.
So I was pretty epic. I hit Diamond, honestly, legitly, compared to how I'll farm XP nowadays, where I just do the same story over and over. And I was pretty good. I was in the Diamond League. I climbed, I did it, nice. And I noticed there was a tournament going on. So that's a cool little fact I didn't know about Duolingo, and I doubt you did too.
And there's someone, literally, it just started. The leaderboard just refreshed and everything, and someone was already at 10,000 XP or some absurdly high number already. Like, it just started. The timer just started again, and someone's already at 10k? How in the fuck? And then I went to bed and I got up early the next morning to go shell hunting on the beach with the girls and my girl. Really wanted to go in the water, and I was so close to doing so, but they all just heavily insisted I didn't because it was too early for the lifeguards to even be out there. We found some cool shells there. It's a small pool of water also, and its own away apart from the ocean. It's kind of like this kiddie pool next to the actual big swimming pool for everyone else. That's what that was like. Eventually, when we went back, we just watched a little more Bluey, and then I don't know how it came up, but me and her and her sister Kayla, we just ended up playing hide and seek thanks to one of the episodes, just for fun. And I made up a set of just rules where really, if you can hide for more than 5 minutes, you win. And Kayla won one pretty early just by never being found in the 5 minutes. And on our last round, I managed to win just by hiding in the living room and putting 2 beanbags on me. Hannah walked by me at the last minute while my feet were sticking out, but she didn't know, thankfully. She didn't have a clue. The spot's just actually S-tiered. Don't you dare copy that. And then our 6th day, the last day, we finally made an actual beach trip. Like, we went in the water early in the morning, and that was hype for me. You know how much I love that shit. I had a blast. I always loved the beach and swimming in waves. It could just be a childhood thing, but it's something I've always loved and always will. And toward the end, I was at the edge of the water, call it, like mostly in the sand, because I was comforting my darling through her fears. Like, it ended up being more fun than I had thought. There was one wipeout while I was in the bigger waves, but it turned out okay. And then next after that, we went out to a diner and ate some food, and we came back home. And we all sang to her. We didn't do it back at the diner because we all know how much she hates public attention, and especially on her birthday. I understand. Apparently I was mid push-up session or something right before we sang, so when we got home I almost missed the bit. I wanted to say happy birthday dear girlfriend, because you know, now we can officially publicly be together again now that she turned 18. It's lovely. Weird to think that was a moment in my life where I had to momentarily split with her and then wait to get back together with her, but you know, now we can be together forever. Aww. And for the final night there, we decided to call in the same bunk bed because we could. The rules, babe. And then for the last day, I only recall being out in the Sound one last time with her. My phone was perfectly charged up, and we just walked out to the boardwalk to meditate. It was just so peaceful out there, and hearing the waves is so nice. And after getting packed up, we were on our way back home at like 7:30ish. It took around 11 hours to get home. I was awake for most of it, and then when we took the ferry back across, we had a very sentimental, sweet moment that I'll never forget about. I even got the vlog camera out for this. It's 12:37 at night. Look at the McDonald's line. They're all lining up for the Grimace shake or something.
Between me and Hannah, and it was so cute. And it was 6:21 when we got home. I hung out at Hannah's place for a little bit more. And my dad
came and got me at 7:51, and just like that, a week had passed, and I had to say goodbye to my darling. A single week was not long enough. SMH, shake my head. After that amazing little trip, we didn't have to fake date or not be in a relationship, like they fake it, because now she was 18. Nothing to legally worry about from anyone else. And yes, again, we kept our streak going, making this nearly 7 months that we've been together so far now. The rest of July, for the most part, I remember was me driving to my sister to volleyball classes very far out almost every day, which wasn't too bad, and it gave me a lot more driving experience that has helped me out along my journey here. And toward the end of the month, on the 26th, my girlfriend got me a promise ring that I've kept on my finger ever since. I never wanted to take it off, but recently I've been forced to. Sad. Sometimes even now it feels like it was like strangling my finger. I won't lie, because it was a bit small, but it's still comfy. And whenever I would feel it, like squeeze my finger, I just think, yeah, she's thinking about me. Really, really hard, she's thinking about me. I feel so naked without this ring on now, wow. Then on the 30th, me and my darling hung out and watched a movie I've always really wanted to see ever since it came out in February. None other than the legendary Puss in Boots movie, The Last Wish. I was originally hoping my family could watch it all together too, but it didn't happen, sadly, because no one was around. My dad had joined in for a little bit, but he left to go with my mom in the hot tub, and you know, the siblings were just doing sibling things, so. But still, it truly was an epic movie, and there's nothing new I could really say that hasn't already been said by everyone else online. I'm just so glad that I have the knowledge and power my amazing ELA teacher, Mr. Shapiro, has taught me in 12th grade, because this movie was riddled with all sorts of his lessons. I could just see the omens everywhere, and it wasn't just me, it was Hannah too. We saw all the omens. Oh my god. You guys wouldn't understand it the same way we did. Or maybe you will, but so many times throughout certain scenes of the movie, me and her would just shout, Mr. Shapiro! Because of something a character had said. Our life experiences have just led up to this moment, folks. But also, there were a ton of relatable moments in the movie that stuck out to us. Like, when Puss was having a panic attack and Perrito was trying to calm him down. It's just me and her when she's just, you know, having a panic attack casually. And when Soft Paws later was forgiving Puss and kept saying, it's okay, we also pointed out just like, yeah, that's literally you, Evan. Literally me. We also got to watch a movie from her childhood that she wanted to see that was out. It was about the Miraculous Ladybug and Cat Noir movie. It was a fun day too. So it was just like a movie night basically. It was really nice. I was happy she was happy to see it. It was a really big part of her childhood, so you know, hey, very nice for her to enjoy it, and very honestly very good movie. Gave us more time too, you know, to be together that day. I'll always take some of that no matter what. As much time as I could spend with her as I can get, you know. The movie also had a nice conclusion for mega fans like her, revealed to Adrian's dad that Adrian's Cat Noir at last. And Ladybug learned that too, so now they could finally just be romantical and fall in love. And now we turn our attention to August, which I have to say off rip was actually a really interesting and fun month. A month where I got into a new game. Hint hint, wink wink. For those who know already, yeah. But first, on the first was apparently National Girlfriends Day. I didn't know that, and I spent it with her going to a live event happening at Freeland Park. There was a bunch of free stuff and a freaking horse for some reason, so that was cool. I was originally there with my family, but not for long because we kind of just got bored. It's like, yeah, we kind of bored now, let's go home. So I thought it'd be the perfect idea to go take Hannah to this event and vibe just a little bit. And vibe we did, because when I came back there, with the spot where the benches were now, you know, it was kind of just a dance floor now, and we ended up doing a little Cotton Eye Joe and a few other cool songs. I didn't take any videos or pictures, sadly, except for this one where she's like hiding and very shy. But I mean, yeah, it was cool stuff. We got free Italian ice cream, and yeah, it was good all around. And after all that fun, I took her back home. We watched another movie from my childhood this time that I wanted to revisit. It was the Captain Underpants movie. It's truly an epic movie. A few days later on the 5th, this isn't really that significant, but then again, what is in this world? I got a customer's total to hint the funny number twice, $69.69. After all those really close fails, it finally happened. Now I just need variance with the number 74 is what I initially said in the script here, but I don't even work up front anymore, so that's sadly never gonna happen. Rip. And now, the 14th of this month, I feel bad outing her for what happened that fateful day, so I just won't say exactly what it is, but let's just say I learned who Brutus and Pixie are, and then I took her out in her new car for some driving lessons, and, yeah, I had a near-death experience this day.
Close one. But I'm alive at least. I'm cool. I'm chilling. I'm alive. And we went home and played some video games and slept. So that was cool. Anyways, casually moving on from that. No need to look back on it. The next day, Roscoe's birthday. Same old. Celebrate. And really, I'm just happy. It's been 8 years and he's still with us. My handsome doggo boy. Stay young forever, Roscoe. After that, I don't unfortunately have the date of when it was written, but instead I just have a reflective rant about how August felt like an important milestone and how interesting it was, where the most reflection of myself happens. Like 2020 August, for example, that was when I first made like a Discord account and Among Us was blowing up, and then it led to 2021 where I sadly went on a dark path and threw my own life out for a while. But yeah, just staying up till 6 a.m. with those creation people, the no lives, yeah. Every summer, like, it was a FNAF night shift, bruh. And waking up at the latest is like 4 in the afternoon most times, sadly. It was just, yikes. I'll just leave the room, have whatever food mom made, and then go back in the room, play all day, and just go off until 6 a.m. again. So sad. And then 2022 August, while I was in my recovery state from like everything that had just happened, I was kind of getting better at it, but I was consistently up till 4 a.m. now, just like revisiting a game from 2017 or 2018 that I used to play a lot, which was Jailbreak on Roblox. Hey, okay, it was fun for me, mate. I loved it a lot. It's just like my childhood game, kind of. And now this year, 2023, I didn't write the day I found it, unfortunately, but there's this game called Dead by Daylight that I'm severely addicted to nowadays. Sometimes I was up till 2 a.m. with the boys on Fortnite and whatever, but after Sully, I think it was Sully. Yeah, it was Sully. He wanted me to try this game out, and I'm not sure why or when, but he just wanted me to try it out. So I was like, okay. And I found my new obsession without realizing it. This is from a Roblox game. No, obviously Dead by Daylight's the original thing, but this reminded me of a Roblox game that I used to play with them too. I believe it was called Flee the Facility, and now I realize, yeah, that game is literally just a ripoff of Dead by Daylight. It's so much worse on the killer side. Oh my god. Man, let me tell you how based on the survivor side is. It's unbearable. No, I'm actually not. Yeah, but basically the facility is just insanely survivor-sided. Anyways, yeah, Dead by Daylight. My first ever match, playing Nia Carlson on Midwich Elementary, and the only thing I regret is just never like streaming it or recording it or anything, sadly. And I don't have any clips either, so I have no idea who I fought. Like, my first ever killer, I don't know. It was a tall black dude. Shut the hell up. It was a tall black dude. It was either like Michael Myers or Wraith or Ghostface, but I can't remember, and it's, sucks. I escaped. Someone got sacrificed, someone got moried, but me and Sully got out, I remember. I just wish I'd recorded the match. Oh my god. I won't forget the fear I felt when I first saw someone just appear dead. Skull emoji just appear out of nowhere, and then when someone else was getting placed on a hook right by me, just like, oh my god, this game is terrifying. Somehow, just barely, me and Sully escaped. Yeah, I don't know how, we just did. I don't think I was hooked, or maybe I was, but wow, how cocky I was. After that first game we played, I was like, this game is too easy. And then the rest of the night we played, we lost every game, and it just got harder and harder. Man. I wish I could re-experience this game for the first time again, because, dude, I was terrified of just the killer heartbeat coming out of nowhere. Seeing the name of the killer on the loading screen was like, oh, okay, cool, I was less scared. No, I was not. Just like the heartbeat out of nowhere, and then seeing that, whoever the killer was, just that charging at me full speed ahead. That was terrifying. Shit my pants every single time. And I thought running was bad because I heard they leave scratch marks, so I was one of those newbie survivors that walked and crouched around everywhere. I feel bad about that. But yeah, very cool game, you know. It's one of the most nostalgic things to me now if I see like the Nicolas Cage trailer, because that was the time I started playing this game with Sully, you know. That was when he introduced me to it, and my god, that's literally the most perfect time we could have played this game, because there wasn't like info back then. Like before the exact moment we started playing, there was no like info on what teammates were doing. The icons weren't updated. You didn't know who was being chased. You would just only know if you saw someone randomly take a hit. Like, that's just insane to me to think there was a time in Dead by Daylight where all that happened, and you could just get picked up from the hook. If you're going for a hook rescue, you just grabbed. You could just get grabbed. What? But yeah, anyways, backtracking. I'm going too long with this side tangent. I'm sorry. I just love this game. I'm gonna keep meat riding it. Dude, yeah, I was scared as fuck whenever
killer came near me. And I just remember most of the games, Myers appeared in it, and I thought he was just like this A-tier killer. It just left me and Sully with the impression that for a long time he was like an A-tier killer, the best in the game. He was just always 4K'ing. That was like one of the first killers I bought because he's just so cool and he was really fun. And I was winning every match for a while until I wasn't. Yeah, I was so horrified. I remember just getting knocked to the ground and then seeing my character just get picked up and helplessly wiggle around as they get placed on a fucking meat hook. And Nia's screams, like all their screams are terrifying, but Nia's probably hit me the hardest at first because I was one of the only survivors I played. Yeah, it had potential to give me nightmares, I won't lie. It took me a few days to be able to win again, which just means like us escaping, but yeah. I'll put a few clips of my moments on the channel, and I have like a bajillion, but I should probably just not stress about that. There's just like a trillion fucking clips, oh my god. It's just been a really fun game to try and get better at and play, because unlike all these other popular games on the internet, it's just, you know, they're all dominated by shooter FPS games, but this one is just uniquely different, and I really like that. I mean, come on guys, it's a horror game, come on. It's a goofy horror game, but it's refreshingly different, it's nice. Alright, I think I'm done now. I went on the longest rant about this game because I'm so passionate about it. I think it's awesome and I'm really grateful. Sully just decided to introduce me to it so that I can become addicted to it like a crackhead and just grind it for hours and hours and hours. Because this shit low-key changed me. But anyways, finally time to get back to the year review. So while Dead by Daylight was a thing that was happening, it's now September 4th. And this day was a huge Battlecast moment for me because I finally obtained the legendary Meowskeeter. The baby boy! You know, I wasn't really sure that this was gonna happen for a long time. Like, I had been searching for him for years. And now at last, toward the end of this amazing year, he's mine. He just comes down into my arms. Welcome back home to the team, my friend. The brothers have been reunited at long last. Wow. Yeah, honestly though, that was the only highlight I have of September. Unless I wanted to include my... What? Wait, yo, what the fuck? Now as the year starts to come to a close, I wanted to do something fun for October, and I did. Every day, I challenged myself to draw something spooky. Whether it's like a cute kind of spooky or downright terrifying. Just anything spooky for the season, you know? 31 days straight. How hard could it be? It was a challenge I wanted to push myself through to get better at drawing and just to have fun with, you know? So I hadn't really drawn in a while before doing this challenge. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna lock in. And it was pretty fun. Even with all the ShopRite work, you know, I had to do, I was still able to get through it without missing a day. Mostly thanks to the pharmacy department. Wow. They came in clutch, I'm not gonna lie. Big thanks to the pharmacy people. Oh, I almost forgot about this, but the 24th marks the day my daydream at work actually came true. Seems silly to look back at, but you know, I liked it. It was fun. I won't judge myself. It was these two French people that came down my lane, and they only spoke French. Zero English. So it may seem like an odd daydream, but it's just like, you know, I'm thinking, if only some French people would come down and I could try to put my Duolingo lessons to the test, because I really wanted to do that. And this day actually came, just on the most random day. These two ladies came down and I recognized what they were saying. Some of the words at least, because yeah, they didn't speak any English at all. I don't think I really did too great, but you know, for what it's worth and all I know, like, I tried my absolute best, the two French ladies, and that was that. Because I didn't know all that much, but I tried my best, I swear. And to end off that month, Hannah and I went our lowest budget Chili and Bandit cosplay to her first ever haunted house for some good scares. We had the whole month, but yeah, with all the work and drawing and everything, we didn't plan out, sorry. We didn't plan out things, but we still had a good time. Came out with our Bandit and Chilla costumes. They were not, but at least she got to, at least I got to take her to her first ever haunted house for some juicy scares. Kudos to her for being a brave girl for me, honestly, and just not backing out at any point. As much as she wanted to, she stood strong, and she went through. She endured it. Afterward, we ended off the night watching the FNAF movie, and I finished the final drawing, so that was epic. As for the last 2 months, not too much happened. There's still some nice highlights I think I'll be sharing here, but most of the 2 months, I was working my ass off. Holy damn. No, I'm sorry again for posting this late in April now, the year review. I was close, okay, I was trying to keep ahead of the game, but after these last 2 months, I lost so much progress, and then January I was just addicted to Daylight because I was trying to hit Yuri 1, so I didn't put any time into the video at all, sadly. But yeah, these last 2 months here, of the year, I was working my ass big time. Working big time. My main job gave me more and more hours because, you know, 'tis the season, I guess, and I got applied to UPS at the same time as well to work along my dad, so that's pretty awesome. Though that meant like toward the end of November, I spent most of my days just waking up early, going to work with my dad for 5 to 6 hours consistently, go home for like sometimes only half an hour at most, then go to work at ShopRite for the entire rest of the day, go to bed, and then just repeat. That felt so depressing, kind of, but to be fair, I guess it was a short period of time. And not a lot of time in between for much else, so, you know, I just had to be on that grind, you know. But I'm glad I used my time wisely how I wanted. I had such an opportunity to rake in that bread, because, I'm not flexing, I'm just writing this as a personal achievement. I wasn't keeping track of ShopRite, but with UPS, and that time I worked there, I made $1,500, 1.5K. God damn! For the 17th of November, we had a new record, for the most expensive grocery trip at the time. I don't think there was a higher record, or maybe there was, but for now, this was the highest one. $666.06. Yep, that was the record now. There's a new record. And then later that day, a fight broke out because of some dick that was cutting in line, and the dude was not taking that personally. He ended up fighting him. It's like fist fighting. So there wasn't really many punches thrown there. They were kind of just grabbing each other's shirts and just like pinning each other to the wall. So and next I had to go out with my love. We attended a little pride event for her college that was being hosted because I thought it'd be fun to just go spend time with her. It wasn't like the best time, I'll be honest, but she made it the best it could have been. And funny little fact, somehow I literally ended up on the front cover. I don't go to this school at all, and here I am on the front cover of it. I just find that so funny always, because there are definitely students looking at that, probably thinking, who the fuck is this guy? And so that was really about it for November, just that, and, you know, all the UPS work kept doing, all the way through December too. This is kind of where the year review ends, honestly, because I really haven't done all that much else, other than just stay on that grind, and I guess I'll show some pics of, like, so I don't know, some I meant to show a lot sooner, Duolingo, I guess. Just cause I really don't got anything else to show for the end of the year. It was just working UPS, ShopRite as much as I could for so many hours until finally, right before Christmas, it all just kind of came to an end. I got laid off from UPS after my last day. I got a nice little break from ShopRite, and I got to enjoy the holidays with the family and just feel victorious, feel fabulous for what I've done and all the hard work I put in. And so yeah, then Christmas came. I had some really nice things, especially my favorite one. I am getting a new gen console for my mom. Thank you, Mom. Big dubs from the mom. So that was greatly helpful, especially toward Dead by Daylight. Like, all my gaming experience is now actually incredible. I was playing that old gen console since 2017 or so. Actually, no, not that early, but oh my god, it was bad. And so yeah, that's really about it, I guess. Christmas happened, and then New Year's happened. Didn't go anywhere on New Year's again, but it's fine. Stayed home. I took a couple pots and pans and was clanking it around as I was going around the front door, and what was it? I went out the side door, and in the front door is a little thing while clanking these, just cause it was Mom's way of doing out with the old, in with the new, so it was kind of nice. It's pretty cool. And then that was it, and probably one of the best years of my life, no doubt, came to an end. And so that was the 2023 year review. Oh my god. One of the longest projects I've ever made. This is currently an hour and 21 minutes. Oh my god. The most amount of effort I put into a year review, and to be fair, like, I could have had this done way sooner. I just had so many lazy days and just addictive grinds to this game, because fucking Dead by Daylight, I love it. I'm so passionate about this game. Someone help. Take away the controller. It's just so fun. But yeah, and there goes 2023. Again, probably one of the best years of my life. And yeah, here's to 2024. Keep all those good vibes going. Make more memories and have more fun. Thank you everyone again for 600 subscribers. If I didn't say it already, I really should have. I think I did. I hope I did. I don't know. But if I didn't, thank you guys for 600 subscribers. That's also really cool. And yeah, y'all have a blessed day. Bye.